All right, welcome back to the Client Spotlight. I am with one of my new favorite team leaders here, Tyne Pukanecz. Actually, did the whole process myself. Every once in a while, I still do some of the recruiting, but he was someone that I was just so excited. I know this is always a important role to Keller Williams. So, Tyne, thank you so much for just meeting with me and discussing a little bit of what it was like in your experience.
Oh, it's my absolute pleasure. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing good, doing good. Always
Good.
good to be with you. So
Yeah.
I think what I'd love to do is let's go back in time a little bit together.
Yep.
You get this random phone call from me, and I'm exploring this position with you. But tell me a little bit of what it was like, in your experience. We'll talk about you being a team leader now. I know we're doing training, but
Sure.
tell me a little bit more of what it was like to go through the candidate experience with Ciprani Consulting.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me. It was very thorough, is what I would say. You folks clearly have a roadmap. You clearly have a point A and a point B, and you have a very, I believe, thorough, calculated, a very, geez, collaborative methodology that I think really explores not only what the candidate's looking for, but what the client's looking for as well. And I found, I mean, you kind of had a connection, I feel like, right away. And I really felt like I was talking to a real person, someone who was interested in not only my journey, but the journey of the client as well. So I was very impressed by the whole situation. I've been a recruiter for over a decade, so I know what it's like to talk to people and to have them get buy-in. And I was very impressed with your ability to do that for me. So I was very excited from the beginning, Steve.
Oh, well, thank you. And what
Yeah,
made you excited about this position? That's always something in Keller
yeah,
Williams' world. We need great team leaders. What made
sure.
you, hey, I'm going to throw my hat in. I think I could be good for this.
It was all my favorite things, Steve. It was recruiting, it was people, it was relationship building, it was training, it was learning. That was really everything I was reading about and hearing about when I was researching Keller Williams, when I was researching the role, when I was talking to you. It was all of the things I was looking for in my next role. I had come from a position where I was a recruiter, but I felt like a bit more of a cog in the wheel as opposed to a leader who could affect change and be someone who made a situation better on a daily basis, not just when a client said, "Hey, I need a need for somebody in San Diego or someone in New York." This was a daily operation, something where I always felt involved, and it made me very excited not only for the company Keller Williams, but also for the position itself.
Hmm. I love that. Yeah, and that
Yeah,
enthusiasm was so clear. And that's
yeah,
always something I look for.
sure.
I always tell clients it's not, you want someone that wants a job, you want the job. And you really just, I think, displayed that throughout the process, which was
Oh,
awesome.
thank you.
So let's go back in time just one more time. If you could give yourself one piece of advice going
Yeah.
through this process, what would it be?
Whew, that's a good question. I would have read more of the Keller Williams books, to be
Okay.
honest with you. I'm a reader. I'm a knowledge junkie. I like to, good podcasts, news articles, you name it. They've become kind of my necessity to have next to me. I mean, I literally have just books, Keller Williams books actually sitting by me. Um, I would have read more of them to get even more excited. And I did not come from a real estate background when I was hired. So I feel like I'm kind of catching up a little bit, but I'm making that a point myself. And I'm telling my agents I'm working with here at my market center, I'm telling agents I'm working with that I'm trying to recruit, I'm learning. I'm in the process of becoming as articulate and as comprehensive of a team leader as possible, and that goes with the reading of millionaires real estate agent, your first home, anything I can get my hands on,
Yes.
really, the one thing, and just trying to read a chapter a day. That's what I'm trying to promise myself I'll do. And but I would have read it so that I came into this role having at
Sure.
least one under my belt. Yeah,
Fair
at least one. But
enough.
once
Yeah.
again, that's hindsight, and that's always 2020. But If I had a time machine, that's what I would have done.
Yeah, I love that. And that
Yep.
was another thing that
Yep.
was so obvious in interviewing you, so learning based. You had that growth mindset.
Yep.
That's always the most important thing to look for in any new hiring position.
Agreed.
We're doing some training and some consulting now
Yeah.
together. What's that been like for you so far?
It's been great. Once again, I go back to the thoroughness that you present. You have the tools for me. You have the layout that we're going over now. What it's going to look like, kind of a 30, 60, 90. That's so important to me. I like, and I mentioned this, I know, in the interview process with with yourself and with my OP here. I like a structure. I like to know that they're not only myself, but the people I'm working with have a plan. And
Right.
there's a plan that we can get there and how we're going to do that. Now, plans adjust and plans change because people change, situations change, but at least there is that initial idea. And if we have to modify it, we will. But I was so impressed with the Ciprani just out, just how you have it laid out. It seems like it's worked for a while, and all I hear is great things. Another wonderful thing about the process so far, and I know we're very new into this, Steve, me and you,
Right.
but reaching out to individuals that you suggested that I speak with has been to me pivotal.
Yeah.
I've met with all three of them now that you suggested, and it's been for me extremely eye opening.
Yeah.
And that's another huge thing I think that you've brought to me already are these sources that are outside of just me and you
Yes.
that I can get different perspectives from. I think that's just the wealth of industry knowledge you have and the people you can surround yourself with. It has been just awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. And you made
Yeah,
it so easy all the way through.
good.
So I know that you are hustling now. You're doing the
Yeah,
calls. You're doing a lot of things right now.
I'm
But
trying. I'm trying.
yeah, what's next for you and KW
Yeah.
Madison, and what are you guys excited about building?
Yeah, so my goal really is to have I have obviously goals every day and every week, but we're trying to double our size. We're at about 90 agents right now, and me and Darren are meeting weekly now, and our goal is to be a 200 agent market center. And what that happens, we're trying to expand. We're trying to open a new office. We're trying to get just a bunch of cappers. Look at me saying the word cappers already.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
bring in a bunch of cappers and a bunch of people that have a like-minded idea about what a market center in Madison can look like for Keller Williams. And it's a long journey. It's not going to be a switch. One of the great pieces of advice you've given me was to breathe and sort of take it one step at a time, brick by brick, I believe is
Yep.
the Rome wasn't built in a day analogy. And it's so right. So I just taking all my goals weekly, daily, monthly, and trying to hit them by doing the work. I have, objection handlers here next to me. I have wonderful people in my office to work with and to learn from. I'm going to networking events in Madison. I'm trying to drop into open houses. One of the wonderful things I got from somebody gave me a suggestion. One of the three people you told me to speak with, they said, just go to open houses, bring cookies, say, hey, my name's Thynne. I'm just learning the area. Nice to meet you. And maybe they'll, be cool, but maybe they won't. Either way, you're out in the market. You're trying
Yeah,
to make things happen. So yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, and you've done, you've really hit the ground running. For those that are listening, you're about your third week, fourth week
yep,
maybe into the
yep.
role, and he's already, killing it. So,
I'm trying.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. I appreciate your time today, Ty. If someone is listening to this and they want to connect with you or reach out with you, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, literally, Keller Williams Madison. You can find us online. Please reach out to me. My first last name at kw.com. Happy to help you. Happy to talk to you. Even if you want to just get coffee and talk about sports, I'm here for you. But
Yeah,
yeah, thank you so much, Steve, again for the time.
my pleasure. And if I could just say for you and for Darren, it was such a pleasure to work with you guys. It made it so easy to take care of clients like you guys. So totally grateful and thanks for your time today, buddy.
Thank you.